I'm not in the habit of calling anybody stupid. However, I am noticing a stupidity going round. The stupidity centers around being busy, centers around busyness, where people seem to believe that if you are busy, somehow you're virtuous. If you are busy, then somehow you should be rewarded, and that being busy is a badge of honour. Even if they're exhausted or worn out or burnt out, being busy is really important and really good. Well, I disagree. I think it's stupid. In fact, I'm suggesting that the new stupid is busy. That busy is the new stupid. Because being busy of itself is not really virtuous. Because we need to think about, why are we being busy? For what purpose are we being busy? And certainly being busy is foolishness if you think that's going to get you career success. That being busy and showing yourself to be busy, that come the end of the year you can say to your boss, "Boss, rate me really highly because I've been busy." Because busyness of itself is pointless. It's neither here or there. It needs to be busy towards something. And if you're just busy for the sake of it and proud of it, then you should maybe rethink things, especially when it comes to career success. Because as we've discussed before, when managers and HR are looking at careers and thinking about who to put in succession planning and who to rate highly and who they're thinking of, they think of two parameters. They think of performance and they think of potential. Not once do they go, are they busy? No, they want to know if you're productive, if you're performing well. And so what I want to do is encourage you to ditch the busy. Don't do busy. When somebody says to you, "Are you busy?" say to them, "Oh, busy enough, but I'm actually being very effective. I'm getting a lot done." And just see what their response is. Just avoid this busyness auction where people are going, "You're busy? Oh my goodness, I'm so much more busy." What I want you to focus more on is performance, because performance is where you start in advancing your career. When anybody's looking at potential successes or promotions, they want to look at the person and say, are they performing well in their role? That's the initial step. So if that's where your managers and HR go, that's where you should really go in accelerating your performance. And I'm suggesting that you can do three things to help you accelerate that performance. One, work out a way to do the work that you love. Do the work that you're good at. By doing the work that you love, by doing the work that you're good at, you will much more likely succeed. So do the work that you love. Two, what I'm encouraging you to do is to really do the important work. So don't do the things at the peripheral. Don't focus in on the things that don't matter. And don't just spread yourself thin, but focus in on what's important and do that. And so if you can do what you love, focus on what's important, and then thirdly, what I'd like you to think about is self-promotion. I'd like you to get into and feel comfortable with subtle, gentle, I suppose, self-promotion that really works. So let's look at those three things. The first thing, doing what you love, doing what you're good at, begins with you being very clear on what that is. And so you need to stop, analyze, have a look at how you're operating, and think, what are the things that I love in my job? What are the things that I do really well? What are the things that other people say that I do well? What are the things that I do well and fast compared to other people? What are my strengths? How do people see me when I'm operating at my best? And in that context, what I want you to do is to begin to think, well, how can I make my job fit what I'm good at? So don't be limited by job descriptions. Every job description can be negotiated, can change. And so when you know what you're good at and what you do really well, begin to speak with your manager, begin to work ways that actually help you to do more of what you love and less of what you don't. More of what you're good at and less of what you're not good at. You might be in a position where you can delegate things. You might find someone who's really good at something that you're not good at, delegate it. Because the more you focus on doing what you do well and what you do with strength, the more performance you'll have, the better your performance will be. So work at understanding what your strengths are and then adapting and influencing so your job, your role matches your strengths. So that's number one. Number two, find out what's important. Not just to you, but to your manager, to your manager's manager, to your stakeholders. Find out what really is the most important thing in the business and what your key contribution should be, and focus on that. Of course, you'll do other things, but if you can find 2, 3, 4 things that are key to your role and key to delivering value to the business and that you can provide, then if you focus on that and get that right, then you will be seen as a top performer. Now you might be unfocused and helping lots of people and doing lots of things. Come the end of the year, you'll look and you'll go, oh, I didn't actually fulfill the important things, and so your performance will be lower than you would have expected. And you're probably being really busy as well. But think about what's important to people, to your manager, to the business, and focus on that. Get real clarity around your goals and objectives. Sit down with your manager and say, what does this mean? What does this mean? If it was to work well, what would it look like? If I was to be outstanding in this, what would you expect? What results are we after? Why is this an objective for me? Is it important to the business? And really be clear on what's important, because I want you to work in the strengths and the things that you do well and work with your strengths on the things that are important. You do those two things and you will succeed and you will be a high performer, guaranteed. And thirdly, I want you to get comfortable with some self-promotion. And again, it's not the grandiose song and dance type self-promotion. It's the self-promotion that comes with being careful and being considered in what you say and sharing your successes in a good, natural way, even if you have to practice it. But it'll come across as natural. So for example, if your manager says to you, how are you going? You can just go, oh, fine, oh, busy, oh, look, there's some obstacles, but we're getting there. Or you could say, oh, glad you asked. I'm actually really excited about this project. It's going really well. It's actually going ahead of what I expected, but more than that, it's really affecting a lot of people and bringing a lot of results. By the time we finish, I think we're going to really streamline the process and really bring efficiencies, and things will be much better, or whatever project you're on. But see what I'm getting at? What you're doing is you're sharing your victories, your successes, in a way that's genuine. Don't make it up if you don't feel it, but I'm sure you'll have successes, but often we just don't talk about them. And you're sharing them in a way that captures your manager, and your manager goes, oh, he's performing well, he's doing well, that's a major project, that's been really good. Without you going, hey boss, look at me, I'm doing really well. It's a good way to do it. Your colleagues might say, look, we've got a team meeting, you've got 10 minutes, what I'd like to do is just give us a sort of a review of the stuff that you've been involved with in the last month. Well, you can do that. I did this, I did that. Boring. No one's even going to remember it. Or you can go, oh, let me see if I can make it more interesting and go, look, I've got 10 minutes. I'll send an email with a list of all of the stuff that I've been doing, but I'd like to spend the 10 minutes really showing you and talking to people about this major project that I've been involved in that's really going well, and it's getting some good results. Some obstacles, and I'll talk about those, but we're overcoming them, and I really want to share about this project. It will affect all of us, and it's really important. See what you've done? You haven't wasted that 10 minutes. You've actually created 10 minutes of showcasing the stuff that you're doing, making the meeting much more interesting, and highlighting things, highlighting your successes. The other way, it's not really self-promotion, but it comes back to being self-promotion, I suppose, is begin to find and catch your colleagues and other people in the business doing good stuff and acknowledge them. Acknowledge them to their face, and acknowledge them to their manager, acknowledge them to other people. Begin to talk positively and truthfully, find good things and share them with people, and I suggest you become known for that. Not just, I want you to do it because it's the right thing, that's what good team people do, but also it actually comes around and it becomes self-promotion, because what happens is people begin to reciprocate. When you share and you say good things about other people will begin to notice you more and will actually compliment you and promote you with other people. So that's what I've found works. So 3 things. 1, find what you're good at and really sort of increase your involvement in that, and decrease your involvement in things you don't like and they're not good at. And then also make sure that you know what's important and you're focusing on that, and do some self-promotion and promoting of other people, and let the positivity run wild. And please don't get sucked into this foolishness that busyness is somehow valuable in of itself. Of course, you're going to be busy, but busy for its own sake is really wasted energy and will only lead to stress and burnout. So don't do that. Go for it.